Hey, what's going on everyone? Greg here, and Apple has launched tons of different products over the years, but we've never seen a product launch quite like this. This is the Apple credit card, or Apple Card. Now, I've been using this credit card as my daily driver, as my main credit card for the past week, so let me tell you all about it. Now, Apple's mission statement with this card is that it's incredibly easy to use, secure, protects your privacy, and they're touting that it's the first credit card that encourages you to pay less interest. Now, before I go over using the credit card, let's talk a little bit about the sign-up process. Signing up for this credit card is currently rolling out in stages, and if you want to be one of the first people to get this credit card, you have to go to Apple and actually tell them to notify you about this credit card. And if you didn't receive a sign up yet, or you just want to wait till it is fully accessible to everyone, Apple should be rolling this out by the end of August, and then you should be able to sign up for it with no problem. Once you are invited, the sign up process was insanely easy and the easiest credit card I've ever had to apply for. Simply go to the wallet app, hit the plus button, hit continue, and you should see the option to apply for the credit card if you were invited, or by the making of this video, it has rolled out to everyone. Apple will ask you a few simple questions like your annual income and things like the last 4 digits of your social security number. If you are approved for the credit card, you're going to get a credit limit and an annual percentage rate, or APR, and this is going to be different for everyone based on things like your finances and your credit score. Now, the credit limit on the Apple Card was a little bit lower than some of my other credit cards that I have, and the APR was actually really high. I believe this is the highest APR credit card that I currently have, and I'm seeing similar things for other people that are applying. Apple is giving out really high APR rates. Honestly, I was a little bit shocked considering on stage how Apple said they were trying to give everyone a low APR, and that kind of seems to be the opposite of what most people are experiencing. I should mention though that Apple did keep its other promise of having no fees of any kind. So no late fees, no foreign transaction fees, no advance cash withdrawal fees. Basically, any fees that you would normally associate with a credit card, I couldn't find any. The only fee that I guess you will get is if you don't pay your credit card, interest will continue to accrue. So just make sure you are paying on time so you don't have to pay any sort of interest, and with these high APR rates, you really do want to avoid that. Now, once you're all signed up, this card is ready to use in the wallet app immediately for online purchases or through using your phone through Apple Pay. And that whole process is ridiculously simple, and once you're signed up, once you're approved, that credit card is available for you to use instantly. So honestly, a very simple process. And if you want to get a physical titanium card, you can also apply for that, and that should ship to you within 5 days. When you do get that physical card mailed to you, activating it is also a simple process. You just hold your iPhone up to the packaging, which actually includes a little NFC chip inside of it, and then it pops up a little window, much like pairing a pair of AirPods to your iPhone, and that's it. Your physical card is activated and ready to go. Now, the big experience of using your Apple Card is through Apple Pay, but I do want to spend some time talking about this physical titanium card first. The design of the physical card does feel really premium, and it's definitely the most premium feeling credit card I have in my wallet. The Apple Card is made from titanium, and although it's not necessarily too heavy, when you pick it up, you can feel just how solid it is. And because it is made out of titanium, if you drop it on a table, you hear a loud tink. That's sure to be a power move if you're paying for the bill. The card itself is white, has an Apple logo on the top left, of course your name, a chip, and on the back it bears the Goldman Sachs and MasterCard logo. And that's it. No card number, no security code, and no expiration date is listed on the physical card. Now, there is a common misconception about the Apple Card, and that is that many people believe that there is no physical card number attached to it, and that's not necessarily true. If you go into the settings on your Apple Card, you can view the card number and the expiration date and the security code if you want to enter that to make an online purchase where they don't accept Apple Pay. However, a big benefit of this Apple Card, and one of the reasons why it's more secure, is if anyone does get access to that physical number, you can instantly change it by the push of a button, and Apple will automatically generate a new credit card number for you. Not having the number on the card itself, though, does make it feel more secure. So when you hand your card over to a merchant, you don't have to worry that they're copying down your number. And that physical card is only swipe and chip based, no contactless payments. For that, you're going to want to use Apple Pay on your iPhone, which is honestly what you're going to do, because even though the physical design of the titanium Apple Card is really nice, you only get a lackluster 1% cash back when you're using the physical card, and when you're making purchases through Apple Pay, you get double the amount, 2% cash back. And you can get a little bit more in rewards, 3% cash back, if you're spending your money in an Apple store, in Apple's online store, or for many of Apple's services. So if you're paying for something like an iCloud subscription, your Apple Music, if you're buying anything through the iTunes store, or even if you're going for other future subscriptions like Apple TV Plus or the Apple Arcade, those all qualify for 3% cash back. And I'll cover how to use those rewards in more detail in just a little bit, but let's get back more to Apple Pay. And Apple Pay works the same way as any other credit card you would set up through Apple Pay. And like I mentioned before, this is the main method that you're going to be wanting to use the Apple Card in, because that's how you're going to be getting the most rewards out of it, with 2% cash back. And honestly, this is a really smart move by Apple, because Apple wants you to use Apple Pay, and by them tying that higher rewards category to Apple Pay only, this is going to make you use it wherever you can, and it's also probably going to force merchants in the future to start implementing Apple Pay, especially if a lot of people are using the Apple credit card and they're choosing different shops based on whether or not they accept Apple Pay. So okay, we've been talking a lot about just credit cards and Apple Pay, things you can do on other credit cards. What makes using the Apple Card so unique? Well, one of the ways is its tight integration into iOS, and one of the ways that it's doing that is through the Wallet app and how it categorizes your purchases. So the Apple Card does its best to categorize merchants, different colors depending on different categories like food and drink, shopping, entertainment, health, and others. The categorization is a nice feature to have because it's trying to help you get a better overall picture on what you're spending your money on. So maybe you're spending too much on things like entertainment and shopping when you should be budgeting more money towards food. The categorization isn't perfect though. For example, I bought something at Walgreens and it listed it as a health category for the spending. But what I bought at Walgreens was a can of whipped cream, not an item known for its health benefits. Also, I got an entertainment charge for my iCloud subscription service, and while I love iCloud, I wouldn't necessarily call iCloud entertaining. The virtual Apple Card will also change color to reflect the amount of spending in each category, which is cool and maybe might shame you a little bit of your shopping and entertainment if your spending is too high. Apple also displays the merchant name and even gives you a map and location of where you bought this product and lists your rewards percentage next to each purchase. Apple also provides handy weekly spending charts showing your spending for the week. When you go to make your payment, Apple has a little circle that will show interest penalties and try to encourage you to pay your full balance. If this method will actually help people reduce their interest is something that remains to be seen. So like I mentioned before, there are 3 ways to get rewards, either using your physical Apple Card, which will net you 1% cash back, using your Apple Card through Apple Pay, which will get you 2% back, or using your Apple Card through Apple Pay on Apple purchases, which will net you 3% cash back. Apple is implementing this reward system in what they call daily cash. Now, most credit cards implement a reward system based on monthly rewards. So say if you use your card, then you have to wait a whole month to actually use that cash back or points on your card. With Apple, they are kind of giving it to you daily. It usually takes about a day for that transaction to process, but once it's finished processing, your rewards are available to use instantly. It adds that cashback rewards onto an Apple Pay card, which can be used instantly through Apple Pay. So let me give you a scenario of why the daily cash system is appealing. Let's say, for example, you go out shopping the previous day and then you have your rewards loaded onto your Apple Card, and let's say you get $2 to $3. Well, let's say you go out for coffee. All of a sudden, if that place accepts Apple Pay, you can instantly pay for that coffee using your rewards points. You don't have to wait a whole month. And even if your other credit card did give you 2% cash back and all you had to do is wait a month, it is quite a different feeling, because I do have a credit card that does give me 2% cash back, but it's such a different feeling when you have to wait an entire month to see those rewards. And with the Apple Card, it's just instantly available for you to use, and that does kind of give you this instant gratification of using your Apple Card. And you don't have to use that daily cash daily. You can also let your rewards points rack up, and then you can either transfer that back into your bank account or you can send it off to a friend with Apple Pay. So we've been talking a lot about how this Apple Card works, but how do I ultimately feel about it using it 1 week later? Honestly, and I really do hate to say this, I think Apple really nailed the experience with the Apple credit card. I was going into the Apple credit card kind of a little bit like maybe Apple shouldn't have made a credit card. I'm not sure what they're going for here. But I ended up enjoying the overall experience, so much so that I'm probably going to be using the Apple Card as my main credit card. And there are a few reasons why. The first one is that reward system. I really like getting the daily cash. I can easily see that I spent something and then I got that reward back. And I totally get that this is a psychological system, because even if you had to wait a month for your rewards, you're still getting your rewards. But I really like the ability to buy something and then use those points or cash to buy something the next day. Another reason I like the Apple Card is because I appreciate the extra security with this card, as I have been the victim of credit card theft before. And the security goes through a couple ways. So say if your card is compromised, or if you do have a problem with your card, you can easily rectify that through a chat window with an Apple representative through messages. I really appreciate how easy it is to contact Apple Chat with problems, and even replacing your credit card number is super easy with the press of a button. And each transaction with Apple Pay is on a random generated card number. Another reason is privacy. Now, this might be one of the better credit cards on the market for privacy. Of course, Goldman Sachs knows everything you're going to buy with it, but Apple claims they will not sell this information to others, a common practice by other credit card issuers. And honestly, like most Apple products, I really like the tight integration into iOS and how simple and easy this credit card is to use, how easy it is to understand what you're spending your money on, and how easy it is to see all of these different things at a glance. If you have any sort of issues, if you want to see a map of your purchases, if you want to see your rewards categories for every purchase, this is probably the simplest and easiest to use credit card system I've used so far. And honestly, this is very early days with the Apple Card, so there's probably going to be more improvements along the way, but what I'm seeing so far, even in this early stage, is much better than any of the other credit cards I've previously used. But how about you? Should you sign up for an Apple credit card? Well, I think that boils down to a couple of things. And first and foremost, if you are an Apple user, you have to be an iPhone user, and you have to plan on being an iPhone user for the long haul if you want to use this Apple credit card. If you are an Apple user and you plan to use Apple Pay for a lot of your transactions for that 2% cash back, or you're signed up for a couple of Apple services and you buy Apple products every so often to get that 3% cash back, then the Apple Card is something you should consider signing up for. However, if you are signing up for an Apple credit card, or any credit card for that matter, please be financially responsible. Do not end up paying that APR. Avoid that at all possible costs, especially on the Apple Card, where it seems to be higher than others. So make sure you're paying off your balance in full every month, and then you'll never have to pay any sort of extra interest charges. And again, ultimately, you have to be financially responsible. So if you know that you're not good with money, you know that you might overspend with the credit card, you might also want to consider not getting an Apple Card. But anyway, that's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you excited for the Apple Card? Do you plan on signing up for one? Hopefully this video helped you out and hopefully you learned a lot about the Apple Card. But again, if you have any other questions, be sure to leave them in the comments below. As always, if you like this video, make sure you give me a like. If you want to see more from my channel, make sure you're subscribed. If you want to support this channel out in any way, make sure you check out some of the links in the description. And as always, thank you so much for watching and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.